Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenn Scott. I am an energy medicine practitioner. I help people clear energetic blocks holding them back from stepping into their power and sovereignty. I have taken a little break from YouTube because I have been due diligently working in the background on a project that I have now completed. So I am now back and ready to share. I have launched my energy extraction codes course where you can actually learn how to connect with your subconscious and how to clear energetic blocks, same as I do in my sessions. I'm so excited to start teaching this and really helping people to maintain their energy, but also take their power back. So super exciting. If you want to learn more, please go down into the description box below. The link will be there. So today I wanted to discuss a major spiritual trap that I see within the spiritual community, which is toxic positivity. So there is this flawed trend happening within the spiritual community. Well, there's quite a few. But today we're going to stick to toxic positivity, where people are totally bypassing any energy that they would deem to be negative, to only achieve positive vibes only. Okay, and this is part of the dark side of the positive vibes only trend happening. And don't get me wrong, I totally believe in the power of positivity, obviously, but by bypassing negative emotions or situations only cause us more suffering in the long term. So anything done in excess typically becomes toxic, right? By totally dismissing our human experience altogether in all ranges of emotions. So negative emotions are meant to be felt. We are human, okay? Our emotions are our inner guidance system that speaks to us, letting us know whether we like something or not, or a warning you that something is off. So many people are afraid to feel anger or these lower vibrational frequencies, but it's a valid emotion, just like all the other emotions are. So being angry is saying your intuition or, your higher self saying, hey, I don't like the way that person just treated me. I better stand up for myself and not have this person in my life if they continuously dismiss, invalidate me, or don't honor my boundaries, right? So toxic positivity is when you reject, dismiss, and invalidate the authentic emotional experience of all human beings. So by doing so, we actually repress certain emotions or feelings and fall into a state of denial. Okay, when we're meant to feel all ranges of emotions, whether they feel good or not. We're meant to feel shame and unworthiness, or all the way to joy and happiness and peace. So pretending that we are, positive vibes only is actually a form of rejecting our human experience. And when we are in pain, we want to be seen, acknowledged, and validated. We don't want to be dismissed by superficial spiritual advice. When you dismiss someone's emotions, you're actually causing them to repress more shame, unworthiness, and worthlessness. So, what are some signs of toxic positivity so that you can recognize it within yourself and other people, right? Because we're always using our world outside of us as a mirror. So a sign would be concealing our true feelings, right? So feeling guilty for feeling lower vibrational energy or emotions. I see this a lot. People feeling really guilty because they're not in love and light only. That means that they're stuck or they're not moving forward, and that's just simply not true. Okay? And they deny things that bother them and try to move on with life by stuffing all of this down, stuffing the emotions, repressing them even more. Okay? people tend to dismiss other people's experiences with these empty feel-good quotes or statements rather than just listening, right? That ego wants to come in and help, but really most people just want to be heard and listened to, and that way they can process what's going on for them, right? It's great to be able to have someone to talk to and process what's going on for you, and that way you're feeling the emotions, you're talking it out, and you can release it rather than holding on to it for a decade or more for some people, or less, right? So what else? So minimizing someone by saying, it could be worse or it's not that bad is really not validating the emotions they're feeling. All right. And discrediting, others for expressing frustration and anger because it's not positive. So people can actually just straight up tell you, I don't want to talk about that because it's low vibe. I actually have a really good story to share about this type of behavior. Okay. I had a friend, notice how I said had, where I tried to share my feelings with her about situations or events that had happened to me. And she would tell me that she didn't want to hear anything negative, or that I was being in my ego for being upset with someone who clearly did wrong to me. Okay, and that this person wasn't in integrity. So although I should have used my discernment with this person who wronged me, I needed to learn that lesson for me to grow and evolve and learn discernment. But this friend was so invalidating. She would continuously deny me my feelings and put me down rather than just listening and validating what I was going through. So I grew really tired of her positive only attitude and I moved on, right? So when you have been around a lot of people your whole life who treated you in a way that made you feel unworthy and didn't allow you to feel your feelings or process them and really invalidated all of your experiences, the last thing you want is someone in your inner circle making you feel the same way. So once I blessed and released her, I met some really amazing, supportive women who listen to each other and validate what we are feeling and allow ourselves to process and talk about this stuff rather than stuffing it down. Okay, so by shaming someone, you are making them feel invalidated, you're making them feel unheard, and you're continuing a cycle of abusive energy that represses emotions. So toxic positivity can actually cause isolation and relationship issues, right? I left this relationship because I didn't like the way I was being treated. It wasn't just a one time that she did this. This was often, or she would tell me I'm being egotistical for just sharing something that occurred. Okay? Nobody wants to be around someone who's constantly invalidating them because they want to embody these positive vibes only trap. So when we are trapped in this cycle of seeking positive vibes only, we are avoiding conflict and we're actually not growing at all. We're trapped in a cycle of this negativity avoidance that pushes us to abandon others in times of need and even ourselves. So toxic positivity doesn't give space for people to feel and process their emotions and causes repression. Okay, and this repression leads to reoccurring problems in our lives, okay, like anger issues, anxiety, just neurotic behaviors. So toxic positivity is really just saying, my comfort is more important than your reality. Okay, so it's basically spiritual ego disguised as positivity. Okay, so there's this almost self-righteousness that is connected to this toxic positivity and this good vibes only mentality. Okay, so it's almost as if like people believe themselves to be more evolved or um, more spiritually advanced than other people. So this is actually the spiritual ego, okay, getting triggered. So another form is gaslighting. This is also what I see a lot of, which is a manipulation technique that is embodied by the good vibes only people, the love and light only crowd, where it makes you question your sanity and reality, right? Therefore, increasing the power of that always be happy philosophy. Okay, so never doubt the spiritual ego. It is strong within the spiritual community and the self-righteousness as well. But what happens is it can cause you, if you have people in your life like this, or if you're finding yourself in this cycle of toxic positivity, it causes you to actually trap your emotions in your body because you're not feeling and expressing your emotions. They're meant to be felt and processed. The time for stuffing emotions is passé. That's over. That's in the past. That's not a thing anymore. We evolve by communicating and sharing our emotions and how we feel. Okay, so by repressing your emotions, you're eventually going to cause yourself to get sick because you are overburdened with emotions stuck in your body, period. Okay? We are meant to be conscious of ourselves and how we show up in our everyday world. So if you recognize yourself in any of these signs that I mentioned earlier, maybe it's time to look within and discover what is causing you to bypass those emotions. Okay? Because truly, you're only hurting yourself and the people who care about you the most. We need to approach life and spirituality in a balanced way and must accept both the positive and negative, remembering that negative emotions are not bad, rather than this all or nothing thought process. So if you've experienced toxic positivity within the relationships around you, you're going to need to start setting healthy boundaries on those who dismiss your rightful human experience and begin to stand up for yourself. If this video resonated with you, please do let me know in the comment sections, and please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to hear your thoughts on the toxic positivity that is running rampant within the spiritual community.